Let me remind you of something you may have overlooked your entire life. Pause for a second. Right now, notice the next thought that appears in your mind. Did you choose it? Did you sit there and decide, okay, now I'm going to think this specific thought? Or did it simply show up? Be honest. If you really look, you'll see something subtle but life-changing. Thoughts just appear. They arrive on their own, and only after they appear do you claim them and say, that's me. But what if that assumption is the mistake? From the moment you wake up each morning, there's a voice already talking, commenting, planning, judging, replaying, predicting. It narrates your life so constantly that you stopped questioning it. You just assumed the narrator was you. It tells you who you are. It tells you what you can't do. It tells you what to fear. It tells you what might go wrong. And because you believe it, your body reacts. A thought says, you're not going to make it. Your chest tightens. A thought whispers, something bad is coming. Anxiety spreads. A memory surfaces. You feel shame again. But look closely. The thought came first, then the identification, then the emotion. You never chose the thought. You only fused with it. And that fusion, that automatic merging of me with whatever appears in the mind, is the invisible prison most people live inside. Let's test this together. For a few seconds, try not to think about anything. Just stop thoughts. What happened? Even with effort, thoughts kept appearing. A random image, a to-do list, a memory. A comment about this very exercise. They ignored your command. That alone tells you something profound. The mind produces thoughts automatically. Like the heart beats, like lungs breathe. You are not manually generating each thought. They arise, and you become aware of them. That means something important. You are not the thinker. You are the awareness that notices thinking. Let that sink in. The thought is an object. You are what sees it. And once you see that clearly, everything begins to shift. Because if you are not the source of these thoughts, then where do they come from? Most of them are echoes, old recordings. Your brain is a prediction machine. It uses the past to anticipate the future. Every emotional experience carved neural pathways. The more a thought was repeated, the deeper the pathway. So, when a situation feels familiar, the brain pulls up an old script. Difficult conversation? Cue anxiety track. Money decision? Cue scarcity narrative. Relationship tension? Cue abandonment storyline. But that thought is not the present. It's memory projected forward. It's yesterday speaking over today. And sometimes, it's not even personal. You live in a mental atmosphere. Media, culture, conversations, collective fears. Just as your body breathes air, your mind absorbs narratives. Economic panic, social comparison, political tension, pressure to succeed. And because they show up inside your head, you assume they are yours, but they aren't. They are currents, and you are the sky in which they move. Now here is where it becomes transformative. The problem is not that thoughts arise. The problem is that the moment they arise, you say, this is me. A fearful thought appears, now you're a fearful person. An angry thought appears, now you're an angry person. A self-critical thought appears, now you're inadequate. But what if you didn't grab it? What if you let it pass? Notice something subtle. When you observe a thought instead of merging with it, your body responds differently. When you believe the thought, your nervous system reacts. When you observe the thought, your nervous system regulates. There is a measurable difference between reaction and observation. When you're fused with fear, your body transmits tension. Your decisions become defensive. Your perception narrows. You see threat everywhere. But when you rest as the observer, something steadies inside you. Breathing slows. Clarity increases. You respond instead of react. You're not trying to silence the mind. You're simply remembering that you are not inside it. And from that shift, your entire relationship with reality changes. It's not magic. When you're identified with scarcity, you unconsciously filter for lack. You miss opportunities. You negotiate from tension. You confirm the belief. But when a scarcity thought appears, and you simply see it as an old echo, your body stays open. Your perception widens. You act differently. People respond differently. Reality reorganizes around your state, not your affirmations, not your words, but your inner coherence. And this coherence doesn't come from forcing positive thinking. It comes from disidentification. Let me ask you something deeper. If you are not your thoughts, who are you? You've built an identity out of repeated sentences. I am anxious. I'm not good with money. I always mess things up. I'm shy. But those were just thoughts that repeated often enough to feel solid. They were habits, not truths. Before the first time you thought, I am anxious, you still existed. Before the label, you were here. And that presence, that silent awareness behind all thoughts, is still here. It has always been here. It doesn't panic, it doesn't judge, it doesn't need to defend itself. It simply witnesses. Shifts from the thought to the awareness noticing it, something stabilizes. Imagine giving a presentation. From the thought identity, your mind screams, don't mess this up, they're judging you. Your body tightens, your voice shakes, and reality mirrors your tension. Now imagine the same situation, but you see the nervous thought arise, and you don't merge with it. You notice it. You stay as the observer. Your breathing stays steady. Your voice stays grounded. But it didn't become you. That is freedom. Freedom isn't eliminating mental storms. It's recognizing you are the sky, and the sky is never harmed by the weather passing through it. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering what you already are. You don't need hours of meditation trying to crush the mind into silence. You need moments of remembering. In the morning, before touching your phone, just notice. There is awareness here. Thoughts are appearing inside it. Sensations are appearing inside it. Sounds are appearing inside it. But the awareness itself is stable, unmoving, open. Return there throughout the day, not by citing thoughts, but by noticing them. Every time you catch yourself saying, "This is me," pause and ask, who is aware of this thought? And in that instant, attention shifts from the storm to the sky. The shift itself is immediate. Stabilizing it takes practice, but the recognition happens in a single clear moment. You may have lived your whole life believing you were the character in the story written by thoughts, but you are not the character. You are the space in which the entire story unfolds, and the goal was never to silence the voice in your head. It was to recognize the silence from which you hear it. Nothing new needs to be added to you. Nothing needs to be fixed. You are not broken. You simply forgot. And now, you're remembering.